Windbound is a 3D exploration game released in August of 2020. Now, I must admit, this game is better individually than almost every exploration game I have ever played. But when looked at from a reviewer's perspective, which is, if you don't know what it is how the game performs generally, both story and gameplay wise. Then Windbound fails, for a number of reasons. So, hello guys, I'm Shadows, and today we will be talking about a very controversial game at first glance, but when looked over carefully, it's plain and simple. Windbound. So the game begins with Kara waking up from a storm. She is shipwrecked and hungry. And I must admit that this game's first hour or two are magnificent. The tutorial works in a good way, meaning it's not annoying and very useful in order for the game to continue. The problems begin after these 2 hours. Also, something I forgot to mention, which is very important, is that this game has 3 different difficulties: survival, story, and endless. Now, I hear what you say. We could disregard endless since it has no purpose. It has no story. So, I accept that. Let's start with survival. In survival, you keep all of your inventory items when you die. You also keep your boat when you die, and spawn in the beginning of the chapter you are currently in when you die. While in the story difficulty, you lose every item that is not in your hotbar when you die, you lose your boat when you die, and also get put back in the beginning of the first chapter when you die. You might have noticed that everything in this difficulty system revolves around death. In this difficulty, when you die, this happens, while in this difficulty it doesn't. There are no longer health bars, or take more damage, or even make the boat slower. This makes the game feel samey after the first 2 hours, like I said. But I digress. Let's continue with the story. After you settle in and hunt for food, Kara starts looking for 3 Nautilus shells. This is important for the story. These are scattered around the map. This right here is where the 2 hours end. After you find the 3rd Nautilus shell, you face off your first boss, a big rhino-like creature that has too much health. Yeah, of course, like I have already said, regardless of the difficulty, and it also deals too much damage, and like I've already stated, regardless of the difficulty, and also has invulnerability points. Now, you might not be familiar with invulnerability points if you have not played Dark Souls. It's when you try to hit something but it doesn't take damage. Its head, for example, you cannot deal damage in its head because of this invulnerability point. And here is where the game ends. After defeating this boss fight, you just do the same thing, over and over and over again. Row, row, row your boat, dock the boat, search the things, go back in the boat, rinse and repeat. And that goes on for a very long time, dare I say until the game ends. And that's it. Really, that is not a joke. I'm completely serious right now. This game had me expecting too much and ended up with too little. Or it's maybe that this game is just as this video ended up being too short. Of course, you do more things in this game after these 2 hours. But like I have already stated, it feels like doing the same thing over and over again. With no end in sight, this game has 5 main story chapters. Each of these chapters taking no longer than an hour or 2, tops. So what is the point? Playing a bland game that has no variety whatsoever is too short, with okay visuals and forgettable moments. It's not good. But yeah, well, this is all about the story. Okay, now you could say when you're talking about the game, why don't you also talk about the endless? Well, I kept the endless mode for last, the endless difficulty for last, because it really has no point in the game. It shouldn't exist in the game at all. It has no story because of course it is endless. And well, what you do is Kara wakes up in the island and she just starts collecting things. After that, she goes, finds the 3 Nautilus shells. The 2 hours that stop. Okay, the 2 hours like are finished. Okay, and then starts the rinse and repeat. Row, row, row your boat, dock your boat, search the island, stay a bit longer if it's beautiful, go hunt for food, and then go back to your boat, row, 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 row your boat, dock the boat, and rinse and repeat. Once again, it has no point on playing this game. Now, if you are into 3D games with okay graphics, shit story but good gameplay, then this is a game for you. This is a game for you. Well, it's not the game for you, but it is certainly a good step in the right direction if you like this type of games. Okay, if you don't, then I'm sorry. I personally I downloaded this game because it was free on the Epic Games launcher, and I was like, this seems very interesting. And like I said, the first 2 hours of the game do actually feel interesting. I was very immersed in the game because I thought that the story was gonna be good. But actually, especially when I got this special kayak thing that the row item. I don't know how to pronounce. I don't know how to say the word. Really sorry. But when I actually obtained it, the game actually did max out my immersion. I felt very immersed at this point. But then it started going down because you face many difficulties while trying to do many objectives. Now, this might seem like nitpicking because, of course, difficulty it can change. But like I said, the difficulty only change what happens when you die. It doesn't change anything else. So, like I said, there is no point in changing the difficulty unless you want the game to become increasingly frustrating. Because let's say that you're in the last boss fight of the 5th chapter and you die. You lose all your items, your boat, and go back to the 1st chapter. And have to complete the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, go back to the 5th, and then hope that you don't die. Okay, that is why I didn't play in the story difficulty. I only played in the survival difficulty. Okay, personally, I did not like it. I did not like the story difficulty. Of course, I played the endless, and I'm actually still playing the endless, because with no story to criticize, the endless is pretty much the best difficulty because it has no purpose. You just row, 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 row. There is no wind. Well, actually, there is wind, but there is no difficult wind to stop you. There are no Nautilus shells after these 3 starting ones because this is a tutorial. After these 3 starting ones, there are no Nautilus shells. There is no kayak item thing. You can upgrade your boat. You can make houses. You can do whatever you want, but there is no story. Also, I feel like this game was just too short. Okay, like I said before, this game and this game, just as this video, ended up being too short. Okay, this video, of course, is short, but why? Because the game is short. Okay, when you have a game that's tops 5 hours, you will have a video that tops 10 minutes and even less. Now, you might ask, why didn't I do such a very long video for God of War? Because it's like 28 something hours. Because I'm not Joseph Anderson, I'm really sorry. Okay, if you would like to see a very lengthy review about God of War, please, you're very welcome to go and watch Joseph Anderson's review. It's very detailed, like it's really detailed. Okay. Also, if you did not like my opinion, you could always tell me in the comments, in the comments, and of course, you could see if my opinions are correct by either checking more reviews or playing the game yourself. Now, you might ask, why didn't I put a spoiler warning in the start? Because, in my opinion, there is no real story in the game that I should really put a spoiler warning for. In my opinion, I don't think that there is. I don't think that there will ever be, unless the game gets an update, which we can all understand how unrealistic this is. But yeah, that's the game, and that's the video. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you liked it. If you did like it, please leave a like. It really helps me out. Also, if you could, subscribe. And this is the first time that I'm actually asking this, but I post a lot of updates in my Twitter. Please go to my Twitter and follow it if you do not want to miss out on any video creations or something like that. Also, if you would like to see me live stream, you could go to my Twitch and follow me there. Yeah, the link to my socials will be down in the description. I'm also planning on opening a Discord server, but I actually want the Discord server to be good. I don't want it to have 100 bots or something, but I want it to be good, well structured, and yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for your time. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye. Hello guys, today it's a very different video. You can tell that I'm not making the intro by a script, really. So today I got a message. Well, not today actually. 2 days before, I got a message from a Mr. Beast scammer, or apparently a Mr. Best scammer. And yeah, I got to troll him a bit, and I got his IP, found where he lives, you know. Of course, well, not of course, but most. I think that 10 out of 9 out of 10 scammers are from India. So this guy was also from India. But yeah, if you would like these type of videos, please let me know. I would like to continue making them if I get more messages. But yeah, sorry that this video is too small. It's too short, let's say, actually. But I'm working on a on a big Windbound review, and I'm still editing it. So yeah, that's about it. Enjoy the video.